This is the Fischer Nothing, and it is a prototype graphic for a ski that you're going to see in the very near future. And I have to tell you, this is This is the Fischer Ranger series, and I want to be very clear before we start this thing. We are not reviewing this binding system in this particular review, and we are not reviewing this ball system that is on this one. We are just talking about the skis because these are our tried and true skis, the ones that we spend the most time on of any skis, I think. This is an awesome all-mountain ski, super playful, shaped TI through the midsection, so it is a sized correct amount of metal throughout the ski. Basically allows you to have the right amount of metal for the size that you are skiing, and in turn you feel a lot more comfortable with the size that you are selecting. You feel like you have the right amount of power without feeling like the ski is dragging you down. One thing I will say, 102 has been the most popular in years past. 96 is starting to gain a lot of steam as the go-to do-everything versatility ski. And I think that's just because the way that this thing skis makes you feel like you're just ready to rip short turns and really just opens the door up for whatever it is that you're going to be doing on any given day. Durability is the number one thing that I will talk about as well. It is the best in the industry. Like, Fischer stuff is built better than anybody else's skis in terms of construction, and I say that because we use these things as test mods for things like Shred Shox bindings and whatever this ball bag thing is called, and so many other things, because we know we can keep mounting them, we can keep beating on them. We can go into like so many different durability factors that they build into their skis, but overall I'm just going to tell you, if you want a ski that's probably not going to break on you, buying a Fischer Ranger Series ski is a phenomenal choice. Lightweight, you'll see a lot of people doing hybrid setups on these skis. Realistically, shifts are very common. Marker Duke, cast systems, any of those types of bindings you will see typically mounted to a 96 or a 102. And that's because for a ski with metal in it at 1800-ish grams, it's really lightweight for a ski that has this much power. So it opens a lot of doors for a lot of people. Flex pattern is really consistent. You're going to feel a soft tip that gets gradually stiffer as you get through the middle of the ski and then softens out as you exit your turn. This, again, is just what I would consider the standard for an all-mountain ski for me. Just because I know how it's sized, I'm really comfortable with it, and I use it as my baseline for a lot of comparisons on other models. I also think that it opens doors for a ton of different people to ski it because they're essentially the same, not essentially the same, they are the exact same for both the men's colorway and the women's colorway. And this is the one, like, I ski this one. I think the purple looks better. So you really just pick the color that you think fits your style the best. And there's nobody that can't ski these things. If you're a progressing beginner, low intermediate, you can get on one of these things and feel totally confident. If you're a ripping all mountain skier, totally confident on something like this. They use a lot of the same race technology that they have in their World Cup level skis in the Ranger series as well. And again, we just can't discount the durability factor here. It is very important. Like, we've mounted mountain bike suspension on one of these things and it still has held up and retained extremely well throughout 4 different mounts in very weird places outside of the normal mounting pattern. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that on any other ski. So super solid option. If you want something that you know is just going to be good, that you can always find available, this is the Fischer Ranger series and comes highly recommended from pretty much everyone here at the Out of Collective. All right, so if you're looking for a carving option from the great people at Fischer Skis, this is your choice. They make a whole different slew of widths available for the Curved GT series. This is the 85, and this is my personal preference for ski. I think it skis better in the shorter length, so even if you're my size, I'm 6 foot, 215 pounds, this is the 175, and that's what I would probably recommend to you. It just feels like it's connected to the snow a lot better. It's very smooth feeling, and it actually feels like you can finish your turn consistently. It doesn't have that weird, like, kind of jagged, twitchy feeling that a lot of skis in this width category tend to have. They did a really good job of making it torsionally stiff, but vertically soft enough so that you can actually bend the ski the way that you need to engage it into a turn. I will also say I think it's one of the better skis when it comes to versatility in that sub 90 width, because it has a really wide tip profile, and that allows you to float through some of that cruddier snow. Even in New England, where we talk about hard pack all the time, there's plenty of rainy, slushy, weird days where the snow is just completely inconsistent and varies a ton from the time you get on the hill to the time you get off the hill. This allows you to take one ski out and feel confident in all of those groomed conditions, and even in some of the ungroomed conditions. So I think the Curve is best suited for somebody maybe in that older age bracket that's looking for maybe a little bit more new school styled ski, but something that they still feel confident in going higher speeds on really icy or more aggressive groomed terrain. I will also mention this is just a good looking ski. I think it's a very simple ski. It's my favorite in the line graphically. The rest of them look a little too racy for me. I think they did something unique, something different. There's a great eco story that you can read about on their website as well. I just think that they did a really nice job making a ski that honestly not that many people are searching for, but if you are the right person for this type of product, it's a really great option. So when you're shopping for a new carving ski, consider the new Fischer Curve GT. All right, so I mentioned durability with the Vocal Revolt in that it was probably the second most durable twin tip on the market right now. Here is your most durable option in the Fischer Nightstick 97. First of all, the elephant in the room, it is pink, it looks great. It is a huge improvement from the black and blue thing that they did last year. I am very with this vibe here. This is a great, great ski. Now, if you're a park skier, you know Fischer reliability, durability. You used to see them in all the competitions back in the day, and they've started to make their way back to the top of the podium again. We've got some great athletes that are pushing that envelope on a regular basis, but really why a lot of these people are on these skis is because you have double edge thickness, so twice the thickness of a regular edge, much more durable, and you get the Fischer construction that is so well known and loved. Like I said before, I warranty a ton of skis for people. I send in tons of submissions. I can't remember the last time I had to warranty a Fischer ski product. It is because this stuff is extremely well made and people just really, really care about it. These top sheets are very non-abrasive, so they don't get super beat up and super scratched up. Joe has a bunch of days on these particular ones and it still looks really, really new. Overall, this is definitely not the softest twin tip on the market. It's reasonably stiff, it's reasonably burly, but like I said, it is made to be a rail ski, a park ski, and it's something that, like, for those of us that aren't in the park all the time, I could get on this ski and just go skiing for the day and not think about what's on my feet, and for me, that's really, really important. I don't want to be nitpicking every little thing when I'm on a ski. I want to be out there having fun and just thinking about what the skiing is like. I don't want to have to worry about, is this too floppy for today? Is this too stiff? No, like, this is a great ski. So if you go out there and you want to ski with your family, cool. If you want to go into the park and be an athlete, you could do that too. If you want to just go and have a ball in the woods or in the powder or on the resort, really, really good option. As we look at the profile of this particular ski, you're going to notice that a lot of these look very, very similar. One of the things that I think they do really well at Fischer is they find a good way to be consistent with their tip profiles and their tail profiles. This allows you to really easily slide into a turn and really easily slide out. It does still have a really burly sidewall, so when you put this thing up on edge, you can still arc and park these things with the best of them, and overall a really, really impressive product. They do also have a few different mounting points, which is important to note. They have a center, a team recommended boot center, or just a regular recommended, which is set further back. The center, you're seeing some people mount it there, but the team recommended mounting point is actually where this ski was designed to ski. So if you mount this thing anywhere else, it's on you. If you don't like it, I would say mount this thing at team, because that's how they built this flex pattern to work. I don't care if you're used to a regular, true symmetrical twin, just trust me, for once in your life, this is a great place to mount your binding. It's just gonna make you have a better time. And on something like this, it's really hard to not have a good time. Overall, very impressed with what they did with the new Nightstick line. I'm excited to see how this thing keeps evolving. Let me know what you think of the brand new Fischer Nightstick 97. Finally, there is a touring ski that actually skis and doesn't just tour, and it is the Transalp 92 CTI. I have been super impressed with this thing over the last year and a half. We got the early intro in 2023, 2024, and now we've had a full season of these things under our belts. And let me tell you, in comparison to the old Transalp, which was really beloved by ski tourers everywhere, it was lightweight, it was pretty torsionally stiff, but it wasn't vertically stiff, and it was just very inconsistent. It had that carbon brittle-like feeling to it. Now we have a hard charging touring ski, which seems like such a weird thing to say, but in 2026, we finally did it. We have a ski that can actually make a turn while being really lightweight for all those alpine adventures that you are doing. They added metal to it. Shocker. Okay, there are metal bands in this thing, and that allows it to give it some torsional rigidity. We also went to a wood core with those carbon stringers. Obviously, skis have been made like that since, I don't know, 2001. We're doing it in touring skis because we want to actually be able to ski. And I think so many of the touring skis that are out there are just completely unskiable on any terrain that isn't like mixed touring terrain, or like you really are just getting down in a safe manner. And I'm sure plenty of you have seen skimo athletes trying to make their way downhill. This is not only a world record holding ski, it is a charging ski on the downhill. And I say world record holding because Noah Dine skied 350 million vertical feet on this thing. And if that guy can do it, why can't you? Somebody go break his record, why don't you? I mean, that's exactly what we need, is another guy doing, or another girl doing 350 million vertical feet in a year. Overall, really, really an impressive product. All jokes aside, this thing can actually buy a turn, and that is very valuable if you are skiing in mixed terrain, you are in the backcountry, you're in sketchy situations. We have something that you can actually feel confident putting an edge down on. Obviously, really nice skin clips here, so easy to transition over from touring mode into ski mode. And we'll talk about the binding later on, but they did a really neat thing with the binding too. Overall, really impressive product, no matter what width or core style you're getting in the new Transalp. You can expect to be pleasantly surprised. Let me know what you think of the new Transalp 92 CTI.